Hey fellow murder peeps, I'm Sarah.
And I am Anthony.
Did you become an evil, superhero villain?
I did. That was my super evil hero villain. Is that what you called me?
No.
What'd you say?
Superhero evil villain.
Superhero evil villain.
I don't know.
Okay. That is what I am now, apparently.
Don't worry about
I'm a superhero evil villain.
Face?
Yep.
Welcome to Bonding Over Murder.
Is that what this is? I thought it was just crazy hour.
It's always crazy hour in this house.
Okay.
You should know that by now.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is the show where I tell Anthony true crime stories he's never heard of before.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, that's very anticlimactic, but, that's the show's premise, so here we are. Got a case you want us to cover? Email us at bondingovermurder@gmail.com. So today's our 10th episode.
Woohoo!
I know. I didn't think we'd get this far, but here we are.
Mm.
And all the things that you didn't want to know before, you now know.
Filling my mind up with facts I don't know what to do with.
Tell people about murder. That's what you do with them.
Nope.
Yes. Yes, that's what you do. Today we're going to be talking about the Order of the Solar Temple.
Wow. The Order of the Solar Temple. It sounds ethereal.
It is a doomsday/religious cult that was responsible for a number of mass suicides.
Oh.
So less
ethereal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Sounds like the kind of temple you'd find in the Zelda games. We have to go to the Solar Temple.
I mean, yeah. I definitely hear
get
that.
The mirror shield and angled beams of light at eyeballs.
The creepy sunlight.
The creepy sun statues. That's right.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, it's...
If you don't speak hyper nerd.
It is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. If you're curious, give it a Google. So let's get into it. The Order of the Solar Temple, or OTS for short.
The Ots.
The Ots? Or Oats?
The Ots.
Yeah.
They're the Ots balls.
Either way, they were founded by two men, so I'm going to give a little backstory on both of these dudes
go for
that started it. So the first man is Luc Jouret.
Luc Jouret.
Luc Jouret, very fancy.
Ooh.
But not really, because he's a douche. But
either
way, he was born on October 18th, 1947 in Kikwit, which is in the Republic of the Belgian Congo, which I didn't really realize Belgium had a Congo?
Well, it does. Yeah, it's how Africa was divided up by all the European countries, right?
I just didn't think Belgium was a part of that.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's even in one of the Billy Joel songs. And we didn't start the fire, it's like something's like, go Belgians in the Congo. Yeah. And then
I need to listen to that again because I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, no, it's totally in there. I can't remember what the line is before it. And then later he says Russians in Afghanistan. It's just all part of his really kind of fun little lyrics he's got there.
Wait, why are Russians in Afghanistan?
There were Russians in Afghanistan in the Cold War.
Oh.
Yes.
The more you know.
The more you know. That's why they were in Afghanistan. Why it was the encroach of communism. Yes.
So his family only stayed here for a couple of years before moving to Belgium in the 1950s.
Cool.
Yeah, they were Belgian, and they were like, hey, let's go back.
Yep.
Whatevs.
Fair enough.
So when he got older, Jouret went to medical school at the University of Brussels and studied to become a doctor.
Cool.
So while he was finishing school, the Belgian police had a case open against him because they believed that he had connections with a communist group called the Walloon Communist Youth.
The Walloon Communist Group.
Spelt like balloon, but with a W.
Walloon balloons.
That Walloon balloons.
Walloon balloons.
I like that. Walloon balloons. They are the Walloon balloons, and I will accept no other name.
Bunch of dirty commie Walloon balloons. Anyways.
Not much is known about what happened. I couldn't get much info, but I'm assuming he was never convicted because he moved on with his life and schooling. So,
well, it's the Cold War, and they're sitting right in smack in the middle in Belgium. So yeah, there would be suspicions abound, I imagine.
I would imagine, yeah. Either way, so he graduated in 1974 and joined the army as a paratrooper in 1976.
Cool. That sounds really fun.
The dude has done a lot of things, or did a lot of things,
cool.
Did a lot of things.
Past tense. Ominous. Ominous.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Give some foreshadowing there for everybody.
This dude's dead. I'm just going to say right now, he's probably dead.
Well, we'll find out. So after leaving the army, Joret then started taking training to become a homeopathic physician.
What is homeopathic?
I'm assuming it's like holistic alternative medicine stuff.
That's what I think of too when I'm associating it with the word, but I still don't really know what the word itself means. Homeopathic.
I'm not really sure. I just, that's kind of, I think, an umbrella term for all of those other, terms that we use. But I'm not really sure. So when he finished his training, Joret opened up his own practice in France. He would later open up several practices in France, Canada, and Switzerland.
Oh, cool.
He then decided...
Busy boy.
Oh, yeah, he did a lot of stuff. Joret then decided to become a public speaker and advocate for alternative medicine.
Okay.
So,
I mean, as he would, being in homeopathic medicine.
And starting out as a regular medicine doctor.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go into the second dude. So his name is Joseph de Mombro.
Joseph de Mombro.
De Mombro.
Hey, de Mombro.
For all those that can't see, he was doing a little dance for you.
It was a dance.
So de Mombro was born in the town of Port Saint Esprit, France, in 1924. I'm sorry, I can't really do French words the greatest.
Yeah, I don't know. Port Esprit.
Port Saint Esprit.
Port Saint Esprit.
I don't know.
It sounds to me Hispanic, but it's interesting.
I don't know, but he's born there in 1924, so that's really all I care about.
All right.
So there isn't much known about his early years. But in the late 50s, he joined a spiritual group called the, you're going to have fun with this name too, I think. The Ancient and Mystical Order of the Rosicrucis.
Oh, why? Did you make that name any longer?
Right.
The most ancient, not only ancient, but
And
we're
mystical.
also mystical order of the
Rosicrucis.
The Rosicrucis.
Yeah, Rosae.
We're really into pink, rosy-colored crucifixes. That's kind of...
Yeah, so I knew you're going to get a kick out of these names, I think.
For sure.
They just all scream cult to me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's just... They all scream cult. So when I hear a name like this, I'm like, run away from any place that has a name like.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like the one we were just about to start talking about, which is what again?
The Order of the Solar Temple.
The Order of the Solar Temple. Yeah, that's not too far off.
I keep wanting to say the Order of the Solar Empire, and I have no idea why. But every time I try to say it in my brain, it's like Solar Empire. I'm like, no, it's Temple.
It's because that's one of the best computer games out there. That's the sins of a Solar Empire. I think that's probably where you're getting it from. I play that game all the time.
Your Star Wars is washing off on me.
It's not Star Wars. It's something much, much better. Disney hasn't corrupted it yet.
I thought that was Star Wars.
No, Sins of a Solar Empire is its own thing.
Oh, okay. Well, probably, because every time I say Order of the Solar Temple, I want to say Order of the Solar Empire, and I have no idea why.
That's probably why.
Okay.
I believe our microphones are sitting actually on one of them. We have our microphones stacked up on old computer game cases because it has them at the right level exactly, and I think one of them...
And I can't afford arms, so...
Pretty sure one of them is underneath the microphone right now.
We'll find out later.
Yes.
They are also called the AMORC, because everyone has to have an acronym too, apparently.
Yeah, well, it's also a very long name, so... Yeah. The AMORC. The Amorc?
Amorc, yeah.
The Amorcs are coming.
Amorcs. So he was in this group from 1956 to 1970.
Okay.
So a few years after he left this group, he decided to start his own in 1973 at the age of 49.
Screw you guys. I'm going to found my own order, and it's going to be mighty.
I'm going to be my own leader of my own cult, and you guys can't tell me what to do no more, so suck it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So he founded the first of several successive organizations he created called the Center for the Preparation of the New Age.
Okay, yeah, that screams cult at me.
They all scream cult.
No,
if there's a name like this, run. If there's a name similar to this that you're a part of, just fucking run.
This one more than the other one. The other one sounded more like ethereally mystical. This one is more just like the New Age, man.
Well, preparation of the New Age.
Preparation of the New Age. Drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. So this was in Annemasse, France? Annemasse?
Someplace in France.
Yeah. So on top of running these organizations, DiMambro also worked as a clockmaker and jeweler.
Oh, that's a nice trait.
Yeah. So one of the successor groups he created was named the Golden Way Foundation.
The Golden Way Foundation.
Again, run if there's a name even close to any of these names. Just fucking run.
Yeah, the Cult Foundation.
Yeah, and resided in Geneva, Switzerland. Yeah, we go to Geneva for this one a little bit.
Nice.
The Golden Way allowed occult enthusiasts to connect with each other, and this organization hired Jure as a guest speaker, which is how they met.
Cool.
So when they met, they decided to start a cult of their own by combining both of their experiences with various other cults.
As one does when deciding how their cult should be formed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this cult did it really good. I'm not so big on the Kool-Aid, but these guys had a fun time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the OTS was then founded in 1984 in Geneva, but the name only became official in 1990.
Okay.
Yeah. So a large number of followers were recruited from a cult Jure was a part of called the Renewed Order of the Solar Temple.
Not very... Okay, so he completely ripped off the Renewed Order of the Solar Temple.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Nice. And he even took their members.
Yes, he did take their members. So this order was created in 1968 after branching off from a Sovereign Order of the Solar Temple.
Oh my... Wow.
Created in 1952.
So he's the ripoff of a ripoff.
100%, exactly.
Which was a cult to begin with.
Yes. So the leader of the ROTS was named Julien Origas, who was a French right-wing activist.
Okay.
So when he died in 1983, Jure became the Grand Master of the group. So,
of course, he would be the Grand Master. Yeah.
DiMambro also brought a lot of people over from the Golden Way Foundation.
Okay.
So when they recruited more people, Jure was always interested in the attractive and wealthy who he would then take millions of dollars from.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
A greater tragedy Scruffy has never beheld.
Essentially. Oh, you're gonna love this next paragraph. So just like most cults, the OTS believed in communal living and stayed in lodges. It was a secret society based on the New Age myth of the continuing existence of the Knights Templar.
Oh wow! Okay, Knights Templar. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. They even wore the robes with the red cross on them
the
for
white
their
robes
ceremonies.
with the red cross. Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So this next part just gets me. Jure and DiMambro convinced their followers that in a past life they were members of the 14th century Christian Order of the Knights Templar.
Wow.
Yeah. So during their rituals, they wore the red cross of the Knights Templar on their robes. A sword was also used during the ceremonies. It was considered sacred because DiMambro claims it was an authentic Templar artifact that he received 1,000 years ago in his past life.
Oh yeah, no, just probably not at all costume. A costume sword from a Spirit of Halloween.
Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Spirit of Halloween has some nice little accessories. You could probably get a pretty realistic looking sword there.
So bear with me for a minute. Let's just say for a minute we believe him. Did he remember all of his past lives then and just kept be like, this is my sword, man. I hid it here. You got to go find it, dig it up. And then he just does that in every life? Or did he dig it up or did he hide it somewhere? And then in this life, he's like, I remember where my sword is.
Yeah. I mean,
if we're just humor it for a second,
let's just say he has, I like to think that he had a time machine in a different life, went back in time, got the sword, then went forward in time and dropped it off so that him at this time would find it, seeing as he's a, time-traveling Templar. A TTT, if you will.
Acronym!
A time-traveling Templar.
Gotta add the K in there. Time-traveling Knights Templar.
No, that ruins it. It's just TTT.
Why does that ruin it? That's what he is.
Because it was TTT. A time-traveling Templar. You don't add a K in there. It ruins everything.
TTKT.
No, that ruins it all. It's over now.
It's like total knockout. No. Just give it to me.
No, I refuse.
No, you do it. Anyway.
The joke is dead.
Well, then I'll move on. Jesus. They also believed, as one ex-follower described, that the OTS members were chosen to be the conscience of the world and that the rest of society were a planet of fools.
Oh, we're lucky to have them. Yes. We're much better off with the Solar Temple ripoffs that are ripoffs.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Solar Temple ripoffs. Yeah, much better with them hanging around, for
the
sure.
temples.
The temples.
Yeah, there you go. The 3. So their main beliefs were assisting humanity through a great transition, as all fucking cults do, apparently.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, as well as preparing for the second coming of Jesus as a solar god king.
I knew Jesus was going to come in there
A
somehow.
solar god king!
I feel like Jesus is tired of being thrown into these cults. He's just like, you know what? Go after this god. I mean,
I'm done. I've done my time, guys. I already died for your sins. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Stop this.
Yeah, Buddha's really up for some cults lately. Just get Buddha into some of those cults.
Yeah. So they were a mix of early Protestant Christianity, New Age philosophy, and homeopathic medicines.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
just
this
mixed
is my
bag, if you will.
This is like my favorite quote that I've ever read in a news article, so I had to share it. The Toronto Sun describes them as their beliefs were the usual gumbo of aliens and the godly.
Yeah. The usual gumbo of aliens and the godly.
Yeah.
It's true. They kind of are like going straight up stereotypical cult in the 70s. Like straight.
No, this is the 80s.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
The mid 80s.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Still,
yeah.
Stereotypical cult behavior, for sure.
Oh, and then it just keeps going. Anyway, the order also believed that DiMambro's daughter, Emmanuel, was the cosmic child, and she was destined to lead them after death to a planet called Sirius, and it spelled like Sirius Black from Harry Potter.
I don't get it. Where do all these Muppets come from?
I don't know.
Yay! We're part of the Solar Temple ripoffs. Yay! And like the ones from the Solar Temple ripoffs are like, oh, they're a joke. They just copied us. And then the actual Solar Temple guys are like, oh, they're just a joke. They copied us. Meanwhile, everyone thinks all of them are a joke.
It just keeps going and going.
Yep.
I'm so glad I researched this cult. It's been very entertaining for me to read.
It's kind of nice to get away from the serial killers for a bit.
Well, I mean, it gets bad lower, but either way.
Got my hopes up for a bit there.
Yeah. DiMambro also claimed that Emmanuel was the result of a virgin or immaculate birth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's Mother Mary, apparently. Like,
yep.
you know, or his wife is Mother Mary.
Yeah.
I'm guessing in that situation.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah. So in 1987, the order expanded to Quebec and bought a chalet complex in Morin Heights, which is about 57 minutes outside of Montreal.
I'm sorry, Quebecians. You get these guys
you're
now.
You have to apologize profusely to Quebec. It just keeps going to them. So they would So they would also establish lodges across the globe in places like Australia, Switzerland, and I don't know where this is, but it said Martinique.
I've heard of Martinique.
Where is that?
I can't tell you where it is. I've definitely heard of it, though. Yeah. Martinique Bay?
Well, we went to Martinique Beach in Nova Scotia.
That's why.
Martinique Beach. It's apparently a country. I'm sorry if anyone from Martinique is listening. If you want to tell me like what you're by geographically, that would be great because I don't know. But we'll continue.
No, we're right next to Zimbabwe.
It doesn't sound like an African...
No, it doesn't. I was just saying, that would take you for a spin.
Hey, you never know. You never know. So at these lodges is where Jure would deliver his teachings to members of the OTS and the general public.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So lodges were formed and run by a regional commander and 3 elders.
Nice.
Yeah. So a member could progress through the order through a series of grades and levels. The levels were... with the highest being the Brothers of Purvis.
The Brothers of Purvis.
Which just reminds me of the Brothers of Pervy.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, totally.
Although it's not a sex cult, so there's no reason for me to think that. But either way, the Brothers of Purvis, the Knights of the Alliance, and the Brothers of the Ancient Times, in that order.
Oh, lovely.
So, when a member advanced, they held ceremonies for each stage of progression. They wore expensive jewelry, costumes, regalia, and they also paid expensive initiation fees.
Oh, I'm sure it was very expensive. Yep.
Some people say that the cult was really just about taking people's money.
No. You don't say. Tell me it isn't true. I thought it was really about space Jesus.
Space Jesus.
Like, you don't say. They were after their money? What?
Okay, the next one is my favorite part.
Okay.
So Jure believed that a global catastrophe was coming and declared that, and I quote, "The world would soon be engulfed in warfare and famine. Only Quebec would be spared."
Oh, yeah. It's because there's nothing there worth bombing.
I'm just like, why Quebec?
Tabarnak.
Like, no shade against Quebec, but like, why?
Some shade.
Some
a little shade against you, Quebec, just because it's funny.
But like, why specifically Quebec is the only place that's going to be spared and the rest of the world is doomed? Like,
yeah.
Like, why? I talked to like a coworker about this the other day, and they're like, "Is he from Quebec?" I'm like, "No,
Just
no, he's not even from Quebec. I don't get it." But when I read that, I was like, "Oh, that's great."
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jure. That little nugget of hilarity.
That's it. Quebec's the one place that's gonna make it.
Anyway, the Order even built a concrete fallout shelter to protect them during the Doomsday event.
This was in the 80s, though, right?
Yeah, this is late 80s as of this point.
Still not crazy, though. I mean, like, that was coming out of the Cold War. It was some crazy times, right?
Well, I'm not saying the fallout shelter was bad. I'm just saying Quebec is the only place that's saved.
Without actually joking, I would guess that they would assume nukes wouldn't fall there because really, what is in Quebec to bomb? Like, I'm actually being serious now. Now I'm not being mean. Like,
I don't know.
I don't think there's anything of strategic importance anywhere near there.
No, that's true.
So it's not a bad place to build a shelter, to be honest.
It's not Canada's capital, like, city or.
It's pretty close to our capital, though, so they might get a bit of fallout there.
But Quebec and Ontario are huge provinces.
Yeah, but we're talking
Ottawa's
we're talking about nukes, though. So.
Oh yeah, I
right.
guess.
Yeah, no, I think where you'd want to go is none of it. Get yourself to none of it. It's happening there.
Yep, just watch out for the polar bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, them fuckers will eat you.
Well, they'll open your doors too.
Because apparently they're smart like that.
Yeah, they are.
And very terrifying. Beautiful animals, but nope.
Well, they're apex land predators, and they're the only. Well, the funny thing is, people are like, well, like, what were we watching there? Where that person was like, well, can't you just swim to get away from bears? And it's
that was a few years ago. That was BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah, it's like, no. It turns out the polar bear is actually even deadlier in the water. It's a shark bear,
which every Canadian knows. Every single Canadian knows that.
The damn things are deadlier in the water. Who would have thought?
Yeah. So back on topic.
Yeah.
The Order even allegedly threatened some Quebec. They call them MNAs, but here they're called MLAs.
Okay. Yeah. Multi-level marketing.
No.
MLA?
Members of Parliament.
Oh. I was. Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking MLM. I don't know why.
No. MNAs or MLAs.
Yes.
For us in Alberta. Yeah. Members of Legislative Assembly.
Right. Yeah, I got you now. Yep.
And were suspected of bombing Hydro-Quebec's transmission towers and were plotting to eradicate First Nation reserves.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's, ooh.
Them fuckers are crazy, man.
Why would they go after First Nations people?
I don't know.
That's so fucked up.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't like that.
I really don't know.
Okay.
But yes, they are fucked up.
Yeah. That's like,
I think we've established thoroughly that they some crazy like mofos.
It's like targeting the Jews. It's like, haven't they been through enough? Like, what the fuck?
Right?
Why are they in your crosshairs of all people?
I think they're just going after everybody. I think their doomsday theory is a self-fulfilling prophecy where they're going to destroy the world.
Maybe.
I
mean, they're.
I know that's not what happened, but maybe that's what their theory was. I don't know, but it would just be kind of interesting if that was.
That's thinking like a time traveling Templar.
Time traveling Knights Templar.
No.
Yes.
Ruined it again.
No.
Yes, you did.
Okay. By the early 90s, a number of people started to leave the order and demanded their money back, allegedly because there was no sign of Doomsday coming and the fact that DiMambro's health was suffering.
Yeah.
So another Toronto Sun, you are some shady bitches, and I love it. So this is from them too. There was trouble in brain scrambled paradise.
Trouble in brain scrambled paradise.
The shade from these are both like quotes from the same article.
Everyone agrees it's fun to laugh at them.
So thank you for that little fun tidbit, Toronto Sun. So some ex-members believe that a good portion of the friction in the group was due to Joray's increasing doomsday vision and his messiah complex.
Yep.
A
cult leader with a messiah complex?
Right?
No.
Okay, so a couple things happened in March of 1993, so we're going to go into one of them. So on March 11th, 1993, a journalist revealed that the OTS infiltrated Hydro-Quebec.
Oh, okay.
So a third of the 60 followers in Quebec worked for the company.
Wow. 2
of them were VPs, and several were senior executives.
Wow, these bitches got far.
Mm-hmm. Well, he goes after the wealthy and successful.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, and that people that have millions of dollars is who he goes after to recruit. So, I mean, it makes sense.
Yep, fair enough. They're not after me anyways.
Yeah.
That's why I've never been recruited into a cult.
Because we broke as shit?
Yay!
Yeah, they're broke as shit. We don't need to worry about that.
We're safe from cults anyways.
And again, if you see any of these names, fucking run.
Yep.
Just run away. So the matter was taken seriously to the point where the president and CEO demanded an internal investigation.
I would.
Yeah. So there were also reports that these members were building dams at Joray's request to provide electricity for the Quebec lodges after the foreseen Doomsday event.
Where were they damming up rivers? That's a pretty big operation.
Well, no, it's Hydro-Quebec is a dam, and that's how they get their power.
Yeah, but you said they were damming up rivers.
Creating dams.
Yes.
Like building dams to generate power.
That's not a small thing.
No,
Which
I know.
rivers were they damming up?
I don't know. That's just what the report said. I don't know.
They're just building beaver dams.
That would be entertaining. Just some people with the Red Cross just getting some logs and shit.
Brain scramble paradise. Yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I love that. So also in March of 1993, Joray and 2 of his followers were charged with possession of illegal weapons. They allegedly were stockpiling them for the upcoming catastrophe.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So in July of 1993, he pleaded guilty to these charges and got a reduced sentence. So after this, he went back to their main headquarters in Zurich, Switzerland, where the top 33 members called the Brothers of the Rosy Cross resided.
What?
Yeah. So the top 33 members of the cult are in Zurich, Switzerland, and they are called the Brothers of the Rosy Cross.
Wasn't that similar to the other one?
The Rosé Crucis is what the other one was.
And these are the Rosy Cross. They ripped off another cult?
The same one, really.
What is happening?
So we're going to jump topics a little bit. So in the order, in the OTS, DiMambro prohibited members from having children.
Oh, yeah,
and this is kind of integral to what happens next. That's why I'm mentioning it. So when Nikki Dutoit got pregnant, she left the order with her husband, and she gave birth to a son and named him Christopher Emmanuel.
Okay.
Or Emmanuel. I don't know. DiMambro saw this as a challenge to his daughter's status, which Emmanuel and Emmanuel, you know, 2 letters off, essentially.
Don't like where this is going.
And yeah, no, it's bad. This is where the bad shit happens. Just a heads up. And labeled their baby the Antichrist.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to give a trigger warning. I don't always, but this time.
Yes, you do.
Okay, well, I'm fine. I'm giving another trigger warning because if horrible things happen to this baby, and fast forward if you don't want to hear what happens to the baby.
He died.
In a very terrible way.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So only days after he declared the baby the Antichrist, DiMambro and his 12 followers sat down for a Last Supper in preparation for the transition.
Oh.
Like Jesus.
They're going to become butterflies?
No, they're not. So on September 30th, 1994, the family were the first to be killed and were in their home at Morin Heights at the time.
Oh, boy.
The baby was 3 months old and had been stabbed repeatedly with a wooden stake.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I gave a
It's
trigger
not
warning.
a vampire, you dummies.
We've established they're not very smart people. I think we've established that by now.
Now they're just ripping off other mythologies. It's just like if it was the Antichrist, it's not a vampire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not making light of the death, but I mean, they're really fucked.
Well, I don't know how anyone can do that to a 3-month-old. Like, they deserve some horribleness.
You could do it if you really believed it was like a demon baby.
I mean, yeah,
If you were that crazy, if you were
know,
that crazy that you actually saw in front of you a demon, not a baby, I mean.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, they're out of their minds. They're fucking crazy.
It's just terrible.
Yeah.
So 4 days later, on October 4th, 1994, 5 people were stabbed, and the villa was set on fire at Morin Heights in Quebec. A day later, on October 5th, another fire was started at an OTS lodge in Freiburg, Switzerland.
So why are they attacking people?
They're doing the transition right now.
So what are they, purging their members?
They're all transitioning.
So they're killing their members, which is transitioning them.
Yes.
Ah, gotcha.
Yes. So in the one in Switzerland, police discovered 23 bodies. Some of them had been shot, while others suffocated to death by having plastic bags put over their heads.
Wow. And how many people were running around murdering versus how many were being murdered?
I think all the people that murdered also committed suicide.
Oh.
So everyone died?
/ murdered.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah, for the transition.
So it's not Kool-Aid. This is like, everyone go on a murder spree.
I mean, it's kind of similar to, Heaven's Gate?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So then, a few hours after this fire, another one was started in 2 additional lodges in Europe containing 25 more bodies, which contain the bodies of Jure and Dimambro.
Oh.
Yeah.
The leaders got killed.
Well, no. They got the better end of this, the suicide stick.
The better end of the suicide stick. Well, tell me. Pray tell, what is the better end of the suicide stick?
So the 53 victims were divided into 3 categories. The first group was made up of 15 members called the Awakened, and this is the inner circle that included Dimambro and Jure.
Okay.
This group committed suicide by poisoning themselves.
Of course they did. The classic cult way.
Yeah.
What about the rest?
So the second group was the majority of the bodies, which is 30, and were either shot or murdered, and they were called the Immortals.
Wow.
So the final 8 were called the Traitors and were just straight out murdered.
What?
Yeah. Many of the people were drugged beforehand with a drug called curare, which was used for poison arrows by South American indigenous tribes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Exotic.
Yeah. So they were drugged so they wouldn't object to the transition.
Yep.
So
Fair
they
enough.
could kill them easier.
That's so weird.
The building was set on fire by timed devices and was supposedly the last symbol of the group's purifications.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of death in one cult.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
Jeez. What is the body count at now?
So I believe it's a total of 53 right now.
Wow.
But it grows.
Wow.
Yeah. We're not done yet.
Okay.
So all the bodies were found wearing ceremonial robes.
Of course they were.
So on October 5th, among the dead were the mayor of Richelieu, which is a town in Quebec, an hour and 11 minutes away from Morin Heights.
I didn't vote for Richelieu.
Yeah. No, the town's Richelieu.
Oh, right. I didn't vote for that mayor.
And his wife, a journalist and a civil servant.
Oh, wow.
So, some high-ranking people. Some of the people were still alive and possibly comatose when the fire started.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So all these events happened around the equinoxes and solstices because of their beliefs.
Right.
So it was all symbolic shit.
Yeah, now it's paganism. Let's just rip off some paganistic beliefs.
That's the New Age philosophy, I guess,
Well, it's paganism.
I know,
the
but I think
solstice and the
I know, but I think
equinox.
some New Age stuff, takes some pagan stuff.
Possibly. It just
That's
sounds
what I
like they
think.
rip off anything they think sounds kind of nifty.
Yeah. They were told that they would join the great masters who are on the planet Sirius.
Good.
And I still find it weird that it's spelt exactly the same as Sirius Black's name. Like Sirius.
Isn't that how you would spell Sirius?
No. Serious is how you spell Sirius.
Okay.
That's why it's weird. Anyway, so on December 15th and 16th, 1995, so we're a year later, 16 more people died of murder-suicide in France. Their bodies were found in the forest, and all of them were shot in the head before being burned, and the bodies placed in a star formation.
So who got away, or did the last guy have to shoot himself and burn himself?
I don't know. I think it was all time devices for the burning.
Still, someone had... No, anyways, I guess I don't care.
They all dead. That's all we know.
What the fuck?
Right? This one I wanted to get more information about, but I couldn't really because it's really weird.
Okay.
So the inspector in charge of the suicides in Switzerland decided to burn the remaining evidence at the crime scene only days after the incident.
He's part of it.
He must be, because people were like shocked and surprised. Like, why are you burning evidence? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's the last guy. That's who shot and burned them.
Yeah. So then we're not done yet.
Okay.
On March 22nd, 1997, 5 more people committed suicide in Quebec, with 3 teenagers surviving the incident, which brings the grand total of deaths to 74.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people for one cult.
Yep.
It's amazing that you can be in a cult, watch a whole bunch of people kill themselves, and be like, yeah, in a year, that's going to be me, and stay on that for a whole year.
Yeah, I don't know the mindset behind somebody like that.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really fucked up cult.
Yep.
Like, it's really fucked. I mean, all cults are fucked, but this one's, like, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a crazy mess of, like,
weird
shit.
All cults are crazy, yeah.
No, I know they're all crazy.
This one's just unbelievable for how much murder involved.
Well, especially the infant and the bags over the head.
That part sucked, yeah.
Well, the infant and the bag over the head, like, really kind of, affect, like... Well, suffocating to death sounds awful.
Versus being shot?
Well, at least being shot, you're dead pretty quick.
Only in the movies.
Well, they were shot in the head.
Oh, well, then it is quick.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways.
Okay, so a man named Michel Tabachnik was accused of criminal conspiracy and possession of stolen goods in relation to the mass suicides, but he was found acquitted in 2001 of these claims. Apparently he's a famous composer or something.
Okay.
But people thought that he had something to do with the mass suicides.
Is there a reason why they thought that?
I couldn't find very much information on that.
Okay, well, but some guy was accused and then acquitted, so it doesn't really take us anywhere.
Well, I just thought I'd give, updates. So it is believed that the group still exists today, and it's suspected that they have 30 members in Quebec and around 140 to 500 members worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah. So long story short, 2 utter asshats decided to create a cult telling people that they totes were reincarnated Knights Templar and that only Quebec would be spared at the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean, long story short, 2 douchebags ripped off a bunch of other douchebags who ripped off a bunch of other douchebags, which led a bunch of douchebags like the Pied Piper to their douchey little deaths.
Very good, sweetie.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening to our podcast. So exciting news, murder peeps. We are now on iTunes and Apple Podcast. Leave us a review on Apple, and we'll give you a shout out in our next episode airing on November 30th.
Excellent.
Check out our website, bondingovermurder.info, for where you can listen to us.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Bonding Over Murder Podcasts for updates and new episodes and info. Until next time.
Why are you still, like, a villain?
Because I'm an evil superhero villain.
Bye!